This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. April Kaczynski. I see a couple people who are posting in the chat, so I haven't quite started just yet. I've been taking my volume on and off because we're going to start here in just about 3 minutes. We'll be starting at 12:15, which is Eastern Standard Time. So for those of you who are on, I want to make sure that you can hear me. So if you're already on and you can hear me, if somebody wants to just type in the little chat box, yes, you can hear me and the volume is good, that would be great. Oh, thank you. I know you've been hanging in there. Oh, thanks, Susan. Thank you. Excellent. Hi. I know you joined early, but you made it. You're here. I know we got it all worked out now. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good presentation. And for those of you who are already here, I know this is new. We're going to talk about essential oils. If any of you have used essential oils before in the past, you can type that into the chat box too, just to give me an idea. If we have like all newbies here, or if some people have any experience with essential oils, that's going to be good to see too. I'm seeing, I think most people, let's check. Just that reminder to make sure you're muting all of your microphones. Good job, everybody. Good, good, good. Okay. Good job. Everybody's got their cameras off. I can't really see anybody though. That's okay. Okay. I've used them in the past. Eucalyptus, rosemary, lemongrass. Okay. Eucalyptus is, I like lemongrass. Lemongrass is one of my favorites too. Lemongrass is such an uplifting, like energetic type of essential oil. Plus it's really good for cooking. It actually is very nice to use with cooking. Let's see if there's any others. Eucalyptus is great to use also for any of the yuckies that you got going on with any sinus congestion stuff. That's one of the ones that I'm not really going to go into that in this particular topic because we're not talking about kids, but that's one you want to be careful with kids not to use because that until they're a little bit older or use it on their feet. Hi, everybody. We have about 1 more minute or so before we're going to kind of get going. I see everybody hopping on, which is great. I think everybody's doing really good with their microphones so far. Awesome. Very good. Well then, yeah, I'm gonna call you Kim because I do not know how to pronounce that very first part of your name. But it looks like so far you might be the only one who's used essential oils, but that will be a-okay. We'll walk everybody through it. Okay. So what I'm gonna do.
Young Bay.
Oh yeah, say it again.
Young Bay.
Young Bay. Okay. Young Bay. Well, welcome everybody. Oh, thanks so much. Now I can see some more folks. I know some people have their cameras off, but I'll go ahead and kind of introduce myself as everybody else is hopping on, and then we'll kind of get into the presentation a little bit here. Let me go ahead and see if I can share my screen. And then we will get started here. Let's go just like this. Okay. So I am Dr. April Kaczynski. I am a chiropractor by trade. That is my, I love all things health and wellness. And I'm also a doula. I work a lot with women that are pregnant. I work a lot with kids. I'm a certified essential oil specialist, but I've been using these even before in private practice. I've been using them for years and years and years. I don't know who that is. Let's go back up. Just a quick little reminder for everybody. You know what? I'm going to just mute everybody in case someone doesn't. There we go. Okay. So far I muted everybody. I don't know where that background noise was. Okay. Let me get back in, or I'll just talk from here. So I've used essential oils, even like I said, before I got into practice, and I love them. They're so good for many different purposes, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So for those of you, I asked this before we hopped on, if you've used an essential oil, I'd love for you to kind of type that in the chat box, because I wanted to know, you know, is this everybody's first time to hear about essential oils? Have you used them before? If you have, you know, kind of just basics, or do you use them kind of in everyday life? And let's go back to our little screen share here. Okay, here we go. So if you have questions along the way, you can put them in the chat box. We will have a Q&A towards the end, and we'll open it up. So whether you want to type it in the box or you want to just do it verbally, we can do that as well. All right. And thank you so much to everybody for joining me for the essential oils that we're going to go over today. If you like some of the stuff that you do here, or you want to learn more, we can definitely set up other stuff. So make sure you talk to your employer about that, and we can continue to break down more topics. But essential oils, you know, what exactly are essential oils? We hear a lot about the quality of them, which ones are good, which ones are not good. But essential oils, you know, they're these highly concentrated compounds. They're found in the bark, the seeds, the flowers, different parts of the plants. So that's really what you want to focus on, is they're found in plants. And often we hear this particular word called volatile, right? Volatile doesn't mean that it's going to be harmful. When we look at essential oils, this aroma that we have, what we're looking at is that's really all of the essential oils, what's giving it its aroma. And then there's so many different properties that you can have with the aroma. So like this is talking about, it helps with plant pollination. It's going to help with different things as far as environmental conditions. But when we're looking at that volatile component, volatile just means that that liquid is going to turn into a gas state very quickly. So that's what makes it a volatile type of aromatic compound. And that's what we're looking at with an essential oil. An essential oil, they're also lipid soluble or fat soluble, which means in a moment when we talk about how we produce the essential oils, what's going to allow it to actually get into your skin a little bit more, or the quality to make sure that when you are buying essential oils, you want good essential oil. You don't want it mixed in with water. You don't want other stuff that's contaminated into your particular essential oil. But it's talking about here that it reaches this liquid state when it's at a certain temperature. So most oils, let me go back, most oils are going to be made from what's called a distillation or steam distillation process. That's the most commonly one. So what you're doing is you're taking all of those particular components from the plants, you're steaming it until it turns into this particular liquid, and then you're collecting it. And again, you're able to separate the actual oil from anything else that's in there. So that's where we get our essential oils. And it's a pretty finite process. It's a very, very in-depth process. So when you look at particular oils, it does make a difference with where you get them from. The other most common one is going to be like cold pressing, which maybe some of you have already heard that before, but cold pressing is going to be something that you use when we look at in a little bit are citrusy types, you know, for lemon peels, orange peels, citrusy things like that. I love it. I'm seeing, okay, frankincense. Oh, Bill, frankincense is also one of my favorites. It's like the Mac Daddy type of oil. We're going to talk about that one in a little bit too. Frankincense is a great oil. Oh, good. Another one with lavender, lemongrass, eucalyptus. Oh, lemongrass is a popular one. Okay, nice. Yeah, if anybody else uses oils, just let me know in there in the chat. So essential oils have been used, gosh, hundreds and hundreds of years. I mean, we can trace them all the way back. These are some common places that we can look at, whether it's Egypt, Greece, Rome, India. They have been used historically, whether it's for preservation, if it's for cooking, if it's for healing and homeopathic type of remedies. We're going to get into that a little bit today as we go into the next few slides. So what are some of the reasons that you might want to use essential oils? So if this applies to you, oh yeah, Laura, tea tree, yes. Tea tree is a great one. So tea tree is also called melaleuca. We'll kind of touch on that one as well. That's a very good one. A lot of antifungal properties. That's a very good one. So as I go through a couple of these questions, you don't have to put that this applies to you in the chat box, but just kind of think like, why would you ever use essential oils? A couple of the questions that you can think of are, you know, do you ever suffer with some of the, you know, common shampoos or moisturizers or different personal care products that just don't quite sit right with your skin type, right? Some of the other things, the same with deodorants, or are you looking to maybe clean with a more natural type of component? Are you looking for something that might be more pet friendly? Are you looking for to reduce the chemical load? Are you looking for something that might be a little bit more natural when you're putting on your skin, whether it's for smell or for healing properties? Those are some great ways that you can use these, which we're going to talk about. So right here, it's talking about emotion. Some people don't even know that, but it really is. You're going to have things that can help for healing. You can have things that are going to be for emotion. We can do them for cleaning, and we're going to talk about these as we go into the next few slides, but they're very safe. Of course, they're natural. And you're going to get a quick response to the oil because so whether, oh, like Laura, so Laura, you use tea tree, and if you open up tea tree, which is melaleuca, this little guy right here, when you open it up, again, because these are so volatile, that's what that means. As soon as you open it like this, you can smell it because it has a really strong aromatic quality. So yes, you can smell the tea tree. So some of these other everyday uses, again, you can use them for cooking. I know a couple people put lemongrass in here. Lemongrass is a great essential oil to use with cooking. Peppermint is a good one to help with digestion, any upset stomach, hair and skincare. Lavender is always a really great one for that. The same with this tea tree or melaleuca. Immune support, you can use it in cleaning, tension, and you know, also some seasonal environment discomfort or immune system stuff, which we're going to talk about. So for a couple other benefits, like right here, this particular picture showing the guy kind of rubbing the little girl's belly, or that's where he was. It can. Peppermint is a great one. Wild orange is, sorry, not wild orange. One of the blends called Digestion is a great one to help with upset stomach. There's ginger, and then there's our grapefruit is good for that. But it helps to support with digestion. It can help with sleep. It can help with stress. So my other one, this is one of the reasons that I use this in the office, because how many of all have stress, right? Hopefully right now, while you're taking time out of your day, your busy day, this is going to be something that's not stressful for you. Hopefully you learn a little bit of information, and it allows you to be able to use these essential oils maybe if you are having a rough day or if you're stressed out, because with patients that I see all the time who come in, that's what they're looking for. They are just stress overloaded, overwhelmed all the time. So I use lavender in my office a lot. I also use a blend called Balance, which is kind of a grounding blend. It has a little bit more of the frankincense and some of the sandalwood. It has those in there. And then I also have one that's actually called Align, and that's a great one that you can use. And it really does help from us being all the time up here to being able to have a little bit more calmness. So what are the ways? How many of you, so if you've used essential oils before, just give me a quick little yes, a little Y or a yes in the chat box. If you have not used essential oils at all, just give me a little no. That way I can get a good idea. Yes, yes. I think some people have. Oh, good. Yes, 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 no. Okay. So for those of you who haven't, and that's great. Oh, good. So y'all are okay. So you're going to learn how to use them. Don't be intimidated by essential oils. They're so good and they're so easy to use. Okay, good. A lot of you have used them. That's awesome. Nice. So what this stands for, what you're looking at on the screen, is the A, the T, and the I. So A is aromatic. A is meaning that you can smell it. So any essential oil, we're going to be able to smell it. This is one of the easiest ways. You just open it and you take a nice little smell, right? It's going to go right to our olfactory nerve, goes right up to the brain, instant. So good. The T is topical. Not all essential oils are meant to be used topical. And again, we're going to talk about that when we get into each different category. But the tea is topical. That's what most people sometimes kind of think of as just putting it on their body. And then the I is for ingesting. Again, not all oils can be used ingesting, whether it's in your water or in a capsule. And we'll talk about those as well. I'm so glad that most of you have used essential oils. That's great. So as we're going through this, if there are certain questions that you've thought of that you're curious, like which essential oils to maybe mix together or which ones you would use for, yes, like this. So Laura, and we'll talk about that. So I'll come back to those questions about, okay, ones to do for ingestion and for allergies. Yes, we'll definitely address those. And I may answer some of those questions as I go along, but if I don't, yep, put it in the chat box and we'll make sure to come back to those. So aromatic, this is also one of my favorites because it's super easy, right? The picture showing a diffuser. Now I want to tell you guys, diffusers are not the same thing as a humidifier. So if you have essential oils, please do not put them in a humidifier. It will kill your humidifier, unless I haven't actually seen any out there that take essential oils, but please don't put them in a humidifier. It's not made for that. So the picture that you're seeing right there, here, actually, let me stop sharing my screen for a quick second. So the one that you saw in the picture is this one right here. This particular, and again, you can get the diffusers kind of anywhere. But the quality of the oils, you want to be very picky with where you're ordering your oils from. But the diffusers, this particular one, I don't know if you can kind of see it. Oh, you can. So you can see the steam that's coming up that's right here. It's a water-based diffuser. And most of them will cover up to about anywhere from 200 square feet to sometimes 600 or 800 square feet. So it's great for a room. It's great for multi-rooms. And you're getting this constant aroma and it smells just so delightful. And it's a nice little mood enhancer. So for those of you who are at work and maybe need a little afternoon pick-me-up after this, wild orange and peppermint is great to put in there. Just a couple drops, that's all you need. If it's good quality oil, just a couple drops. All right, so let me go back to sharing my screen and get back in here. Okay. Okay. So aromatic, not just the diffuser, right? So you can use it in a diffuser. The other way that you can use it is you can take your, let's do bergamot. You can take your essential oil itself, right? You can put a drop or so in your hand, and then you can smell it, right? So that's another way to smell it. So you can put it in your hands, smell it right here, or you can smell it straight out of the bottle, or you can diffuse it. Another way you can smell it for aromatic is if you have a spray bottle, you can put a couple in your spray bottle, and you can spray it on your linens. You can spray it on your, if you're sitting on the couch or your desk chair, you can put it on your pillowcases. That's another way to use it for aromatic. It's a diffuser like a humidifier. Oh, so no. So Laura, I just spoke about that. So a humidifier is not the same as a diffuser. You do not want to put essential oils in a humidifier. It'll kill it. Add moisture to the air. No, it doesn't really add moisture into the air as far as making it a little bit more dense as far as breathing if you have a lot of dryness. That's not what a diffuser will do. Yes, it is putting off those particles, but it's not going to add the particular moisture like a humidifier. But that's a good question. So we just talked about aromatic. Now we're going to talk about topical. So some of the most common, exactly right here. You're literally just going to put it in your hands and you're going to put it on your body, right? Whether it goes on your neck, it goes on your forehead or temples is a good one when you have tension headaches. You can put it on your chest, and then you can obviously smell it right here. One of the best places to use if you're ever in doubt about where to put it on your body, if it's a safe place or not, whether it doesn't matter if you're a baby or you're 100, the best place is the bottom of your feet, okay? So the bottom of your feet, it still gets into your bloodstream and you're still going to be able to have good benefit from it. But like, let's say you're going to use, I'll say geranium, because geranium is not one of my favorite smells at all. I'm not big into the flowery ones. It's a great oil. It's just not one of my favorites. I don't like the smell of it at all. So I will put it on the bottom of my feet so that I don't have to smell it, but I'm still getting the benefits from it. Same for, you know, some people don't like the smell of melaleuca. It's a wonderful oil. Again, put them on the bottom of your feet. So the rule when we're using it topically as well, obviously we want to avoid sensitive areas. We're never going to put it inside, like you're not going to put it in your ears or in your nose or in your eyes. You never put it inside and internally. But the general rule is you can hear what's called neat or clean versus diluted or a carrier oil. So don't get confused by the terms. It simply just means, are you putting the oil straight? Oh, actually here, so let's come out of this for a second so I can show you. So what this means, are you taking the oil, so this is my bergamot, are you taking the oil and you're putting it literally right on your skin, right? I took it and I'm gonna rub it right on my skin. That's considered neat. That's considered the most, not heavy, but the most intense, right? Because it's not diluted with anything, it's straight, right? The other version is you can use what's called a carrier oil. Now, this is coconut oil. It happens to be from the particular company, but you can use anything. You can use a lotion, right? You can mix it with a lotion that you have. If you have some good coconut oil at home, you can use coconut oil. That's one of the ones I recommend. Don't mix it with olive oil. But you can mix it, and then that's what's called diluted. In general, the rule would be 1 drop of your essential oil to every 3 drops of your carrier, unless you actually want to put it on your body without diluting it. Okay, now for kids it's going to be different. For babies it's also going to be different. You're going to heavily dilute it. It's almost a 5-to-1, and with some it's 10-to-1. But if you think of it kind of like a time lapse, right? So if I put this on, I'm going to smell it. It's going to be nice and strong. It's going to be great, right? But if I put it with a carrier oil, it might last a little bit longer when I have it on my body. It's great. It's like perfume. So good. Now I will give you, actually we'll talk about that when we get to lemon. Okay. So that is our topical, right? And I do have another little, like we'll get to it. I have a little ebook. If people want it, you can send me a little. Yes, jojoba oil is good. Jojoba oil is great. I do have a little ebook. If people want that, you can put that in there, or send me your email and I can send it to you. All right, let's go back. Here we go. Play, share. Okay. So again, when in doubt, just put it on the bottom of your feet. Now, let's say, you know, when we had all the cough, cold stuff going on, one of the great places when we were talking about eucalyptus or the peppermint, or, okay, Bill, I will write that. Yeah, awesome. I will definitely send you the ebook. One of the great things you can put is, you know, you can put it right here on your chest, and that way you're smelling it. It helps to open up your nose. It opens up your nasal passageway. And it's great to continue to be able to breathe that on a regular basis. Let's go into a couple other topical things that you can do. If you want to make it into a cold compress, you can put it on like a washcloth or something like that, and then you can put it right onto your skin. I like to put them in the bath. I put it in the bath for my kids. So I will put some drops of like thyme, or I'll put lavender, maybe melaleuca, whatever I feel like putting in there, and put that into the bath. Just be mindful that, awesome, I'm seeing a couple emails. Yep, I'll make sure to put those down before we, before we check out. Awesome. That some of the essential oils, depending on, especially the citrusy ones, depending on your surface, they can stain. Citrusy, even in the diffuser that I was holding up, those do sometimes have a tendency to stain and leave a ring, whether it's in the diffuser or if it's in your bathtub. And even sometimes on your, you know, whatever you're putting it on, your sheets, or if you're putting it on your body or like under your clothes. So just be mindful of that too, okay? Internal use. Don't be afraid of tasting or using your essential oils. One of my favorites is, so I'll use my water bottle, and I always put a couple drops of lemon in my water, and it's so good. other thing you can use because we're going to get to this in a second, is peppermint. And I like to take peppermint and put it into my water, especially after lunchtime. One, it's great for your breath if for some reason you didn't get to brush your teeth after lunch or after a meal. But two, it does help with digestive enzymes, and it helps with your belly. So that can be really helpful too. Okay. Yes. Okay, great. Yeah, I can send you the ebooks. Thank you guys for sending me your little emails on there. Absolutely. So good. Okay. So a couple of the other things that we want to go through for internal is, obviously we just talked about, you can put it in your water. If you really don't want to taste it, because again, some of them are not meant to put, you know, literally right into your mouth. A couple of the ones that you could do, there's some vegan capsules that you can get, and you just take your little droppers and put them right into there, close it up, and then you can take it internally. Again, still going to get into your system. You're going to get the great benefits from it, and you're also going to have that immediate response with your body, but you don't have to taste it. I don't typically burp it up either. I've never put them in my smoothies. I have cooked with them. I love to cook with it. I have the cilantro one. Sometimes I'll throw a little of that in there when I'm making salsa. I have used, I make little rice bags or like flaxseed, so hot cold packs. I put lavender and peppermint in those. But here, yeah, you can put them in smoothies, applesauce, pretty much anything. They're very versatile. Is there no special difference between which oils are ingestible? So Bill, yeah, we will talk about that. Not all oils are supposed to be ingested. Very, very true. Especially like your hot oils. No, we always want to be very, very careful with that. You don't want to ingest, and that's, so I have different, it's not this, but I have different little handouts. Oh yeah, they're over there. I have different handouts that you can get, and they'll show you which oils, and I have like my essential oils book, the resource guides that you can get as well. And it goes through every single type of way that you can use it, whether you can use it aromatically, if it's recommended to use it internally, or topical. Some of them, like your hot oils, there's clove, cassia, your cinnamon, black pepper. Some of those oregano, you're not going to want to, like oregano, you can use, but you would put it in a capsule. You would not put it right in your mouth. Hopefully that answers your question about that as far as ingesting. But if you're using lemon, like lemon, you can put right on your tongue. Peppermint, you could put it right on your tongue. But some of the other ones, no, you're not going to put it on your mouth, but you would put it in a capsule. Great. Difference between peppermint extracts and peppermint oils. So depending on, Laura, depending on where you're seeing that from, it's going to depend on the company. I'll speak for this particular one because this is the one who I use. It's always going to come from their distillery, that steam distillation process. So sometimes it's the finite part of the word. Like if we were talking citrus, the extract is from the cold press. So it's literally like the particles that they're taking as they're scraping and puncturing the skin and the rind of the fruit, and that's the extract that comes from, and then that's what gets put into there, and then we're able to retract the oil. But typically it should be a pure straight oil. So when we're extracting, we don't want to extract all the other particles, especially like citrus. So as we're extracting the oil, you also might be extracting part of the peel itself and the rind, and maybe a little bit of the fruit that's in there. There might be dirt, there might be other stuff that comes as it's extracted from the plant as well. We don't want that in there. We want just the pure oil. Hopefully that helps with that particular question. And again, guys, as we go through, I know I'm kind of answering these, but I'll make sure to go back and look in the little chat box and answer some of the ones that I didn't address yet. So what oil should you use? Now that we know we can use them topically, we can ingest some of them, and then we can use them aromatically to diffuse them. Which one should we use? So I put these on here, the lemon, lavender, and peppermint, because these really are so multi-purpose. Like you can't go wrong with lemon, lavender, and peppermint. They're such basics that you can use for so many different things that you can't go wrong with this. Now, these are pure single oils. Now, obviously, I do have some, let me just escape here for a second. I have some that are blends in my little bio. One of the ones I told you, one of my favorites. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's Citrus Bloom. It's a blend. We also have Breathe, which is great. It's our respiratory blend. This is a blend. So this has more than just, it's not just peppermint. So there's eucalyptus that's in here. There's peppermint and melaleuca and lemon. So it's a blend that's already specially made and formulated that makes up this little component. But for most, because they're not quite sure what to use, we go with lemon, lavender, you know, we just pick the single oils. Let's go back to that. Play, share. Okay. So lemon. Lemon is, yes, like I said, it's one of my favorites. You can use it to clean. Believe it or not, it's actually really, really good. It's great at getting out grease spots, but it's also really good at getting out scuffs and different things like that. So this gives you one of the examples of putting it in a spray bottle, cleaning your counter surfaces. This is not a complete disinfectant, but it does have some really good properties to kill things, okay? So if you're wanting a heavier duty, then you wouldn't use just the lemon. You're going to use some of the other ones like that are mixed. So like our On Guard blend that we have, this little guy right here, it shows that it has different components added to it, not just lemon, that's going to help kill any of those little foreign invaders and other little critters that you don't want. But lemon, like we said, you can use it for cleaning. You can use it, all of your citrusy ones, this talks about it being uplifting. Your citrus oils, those are going to be the ones that are going to be uplifting and that give you that good little boost emotion wise. Your lemon, grapefruit, lime. One of my favorites is there's actually one called Citrus Bliss. So it has a mix of those. Bergamot is one of my favorite ones. That's also excuse me, it's a citrus. It's one of the other citruses that can give you a good little boost. And then down here on the bottom, it talks about adding it to water, right? I already talked to you about that. So the particular company that I use, and you know, it's on here, the name's on here, but and I'll give you all a link if you need to get anything later. But it's talking about how pure it is. The reason I like this particular company is because we can trace back where they're getting all their essential oils from, how they process it. It's not contaminated. It's very clean. It's very pure. And how much it actually takes. So to get one bottle of this little lemon that's right here, it takes about 7 pounds of the peels, which is pretty crazy because this is 15 milliliters, but that's what it takes because it's so pure and that's what you want, right? Oh, my little lavender's cut off. Sorry, guys. But lavender, oh, lavender is an amazing one. Shouldn't I have? Yes. This is lavender. That's what it looks like in the bottle. You see it on the picture that's there. Lavender is also so multi-purpose. If people are dealing with stress or anxiety or tension, lavender is such a great essential oil to use as a go-to because it's going to help calm. It's going to help be able to soothe a little bit as well. And when you're applying lavender, I mean, honestly, especially if you're super stressed out, and one of the best, and not stressed with anything that you're using it for, if you're wanting to change your mood, one of the best things you can do is just smell it. You don't necessarily even need to put it on your body. You smell it. You just, whatever the oil is, smell it. And it'll go right up to your, like we said, it goes through your olfactory nerve, right up to your brain, and then it's going to start changing up there because it's right into your brainstem, into your limbic system, and then your emotions can change. It's so good. Now, the funny thing is, I don't really like the smell of lavender. I don't like to smell it straight out of the bottle, but I can diffuse it and I can put it on my body because I like what it does, but I don't like the smell of it straight out of the gate. Yes, great for sleep. Sorry, spray on pillows. Yes, Bill, that's a great, yeah. So that's a great one that you can use. I think it's on here as well. Yep, on pillows. For lavender, like I said, I use this one in the office. I put it in my diffuser. I will put it on the table sometimes, and my adjusting table that I have. But it's such a good thing. I'll recommend for patients, hey, spray it on your pillowcases, or put a couple drops, you know, on your linens or your bed sheets, or if you don't want it that close to you, put it on maybe your curtains or your drapes, you know, that are right there by the bed, or just diffuse it. And it's a great one. So I also love, because they have for kids, let me escape here for a second. So one of the ones that I love too is they have a kids blend or program. They have a bunch of different ones. and it's like this. So these are already heavily diluted, and they have white, all of them have white labels like this that are made specially for kids. They're heavily diluted. So with my kids, like we put these on, they can roll it on at bedtime. And I'm not worried about if they open it up and they put it, you know, anywhere on their body, it's going to be fine because it's already made specially for them. It's diluted to their ratio that they need, and it helps calm them down. It's great. It's very, very good and very effective. So I love the little, these are called roller balls, by the way, if you don't know what these are called roller balls. And what that means is, this is another way that we would call it topical, just like a perfume that maybe you've had before, where it has the little ball that's right here, right? So you've taken your oil like this, we'll just say lavender, and then you've taken your carrier oil, whatever you're using, coconut oil, and this one obviously is straight from the company, but you can make them yourself. And I do workshops like this. So if you ever want to make one, we can do something in person or walk you through that process. Yeah, lavender is a little strong. I hear you. But you make it yourself. You can put the drops in there. You put your coconut oil or your carrier oil, and then you put this guy back on, and then you have your nice little roller ball that you can use, you know, wherever you want to put it. So these are great. Okay. I know if you were in person, this would be great because I could be passing these around. Everybody could be smelling them. We could show you how to make them. But for now, we're virtual, and I know you can't smell them, but they do. They smell so good. All right, let's go back to our presentation here. Thank you guys so much for hanging in with me. Y'all are doing awesome. And I love the questions, and I love the interaction. This is good. Lavender, again, I pulled these up because I was talking about the particular company that I use. Again, we can source any of the essential oils that they have. We know what part of the country they come from, what country they come from, exactly what plant, what part of the plant that they're coming from, and you can trace everything down. This one has some of the other oils that lavender works well with. So the other one we looked at, so we've done lemon, we've done lavender, and we're going to talk about peppermint. So again, these are my little like trios, and we have an intro kit, lemon, lavender, and peppermint, that you can get if you're like, I don't know what to use. But lemon, lavender, and peppermint, you can't go wrong with them. Peppermint right now, it's so good for your airways if you got a little stuffy nose or something like that. If you have headaches or migraines, peppermint is also a great one to use right on the back. Oh, here, let me come back out again. Right on the back of your, what's called your occiput. So it's like right back here, right behind your ear. And again, guys, I'm not giving you any medical advice. These are just general uses that you can use. Obviously, you always want to seek medical advice from your primary provider. These are just some of the ways that you can use them. But back here behind your occiput, what's called your occiput, this little bony piece right here behind your ear, you can put it back there on both sides, and that helps with a lot of the tension that's there. Again, peppermint is cooling though, so you have to remember that when you put it on, it may have a cold or cooling effect. If you don't like that, use a carrier oil. Make sure you use a carrier oil and dilute it so that you don't have that particular sensation that you're not wanting. But for those who do have tension and maybe you have tightness in the muscles, you want that cooling effect because it's like using ice, right? It's going to help to calm and cool any inflammation that's in that area or any swelling. Okay. Yeah, so you saw what I just did, right? I had an itch. You have to be very careful and remember what you put on your hands, because if you have essential oils, depending on what they are, you don't want to be, because it's right here by my eye, you don't want to be touching them with your fingertips because it will aggravate your skin. And I've put a bunch of different ones on, so I'm just being mindful of what I've used, especially if it were a hot oil. If I had clove or cassia, if I had cinnamon, whew, yeah, you'll do oregano. You'll do it once and you won't do it again because it'll burn. Yeah, you're not gonna want to do that. All right, let's go back. And as we're going through, if you guys think of other questions, feel free, like let me know what you're thinking of in the chat box so I can go back and answer some of these questions that you have. Okay, yep. Yeah, we'll go over the quality. So peppermint, again, it's going to have a cooling, refreshing type of response for the body. One of the things I like to do, and we have it, it's called our focus blend that we make, and it's wild orange. Again, that's a citrus. That's going to be uplifting. It's going to be energetic. And then peppermint, which is also, it's refreshing, right? It's cooling, it's awakening. So our focus blend, or kind of like my little afternoon time that I call it, that's the focus blend, which is wild orange and peppermint. Those are great to put, like I said, we put it in a little roller ball and you can put it on. Helps keep you refreshed in the afternoon. This is another one, but peppermint, you can use it for your breath. You can put a couple drops in your water or literally just right on your tongue. You can also use it as a conditioner. You can make a great foot scrub out of it. It's, yeah, some good stuff. Just to show you where it's sourced from, we want to make sure that we're seeing, you know, just that it's a good, legit, it's pure, it's clean. This one's steam distilled compared to the other ones, like the citrus, that the lemon that was cold pressed. You can see how the actual oils are processed. So as I go through a couple more of these, we're going to be winding down towards the end. So again, if you have questions, just definitely put them in the chat box. I do see several that are in here, so I am going to leave time to be able to answer questions. Okay, guys. Tea tree oil was mentioned. I think Laura mentioned this one, tea tree or melaleuca. I know I didn't have it in my like top 3, but tea tree is a great one. It's antifungal. It has a good type of purifying agent to it. Do not be confused, guys. Melaleuca and tea tree is the same thing. Okay, it really is the same thing. We're looking at what part of the plant. It's tea tree, but it's melaleuca. Don't be confused. This is great for skin irritations. It's great for any blemishes or breakouts like tea tree and lavender. And if you look at a lot of the healthcare products or skincare products that are for breakouts, you've got lavender, tea tree, or melaleuca, and like helichrysum. Those are going to be a main base component that's in those particular products. So you can use them for cleaning as well. Again, this talks about the source, where it's from, where we're actually taking it from, that part of the tree, how much it takes to actually make this one 15 milliliter bottle. And frankincense. Frankincense is also, like, it's such a Mac Daddy oil. It is more expensive, but because it's an expensive oil and the process that it takes to actually go through that distillation process and get it, but it is such a good oil. It also goes through the blood-brain barrier, so it has such good healing components to it. This is one that we've heard about for, you know, many years ago, how long it's been used just in different cultures and around the world. It's a great healing essential oil that we have. This particular one, again, we're looking at the different parts of the countries, where it's coming from, how we're going to actually make it, and other oils that it mixes with. So guys, as we're going through, don't worry, there are replays. So a replay will be available. So if for some reason you missed some of it, don't worry, they're going to be able to put up a little chat for you. So some of you gave me your email, and I have to make sure that I will get that. But if for some reason I don't catch it, my email is draprapril@grasshopperchiropractic.com. If you want this little ebook so that you have more information and you can like resource and reference back to it of like, oh, I forgot what she said, you'll be able to get this particular ebook as well. Okay. And then I put this in the chat box in the very beginning. Your employer and the program that they're using, they just want to know that this was a good presentation, that you liked it, or if there's feedback that you can give them, click on those links and just share that information with them about what you thought about the program and this workshop, and also if you wanted more information, and then the other link for when they're going to post the replay. Okay, so just to kind of wrap up before we open it up for questions, there's other ones. We did intro. I have other ones that we can do. I have stuff on stress management and sleep, common aches and pains, or like different things we can use for replacing your household products. I can also do stuff that's in person if that's something that you're interested in. So just let the company know, and then they can always reach out to me and we can figure out a way to be able to continue if this is something that you're interested in. And if you guys, before we go back to the questions, if you guys liked it, give me like a little smiley face, give me something. You guys were really good in here, so I appreciate your participation and your feedback. And let me know, because I couldn't see a lot of faces while I was in here, but it was nice to see those that I could. I'm going to scroll through and look back at these questions. And if you have other questions, let me know. I'm just going to take a second to go through the chat box here. Okay. Nope. That was me. I think the first one, okay, you've used them in the past. Oh yeah, rosemary, lemongrass. Good. Then we had, oh, whoa, sorry. First one, yeah, lemon, rosemary, lemongrass, lavender, lemongrass, frankincense. You'd ask me tea tree and the diffuser. Did I answer your question about the diffuser? I think that was you, Laura. If I answered that about your diffuser, just let me know. Interested in ingestion. Okay, so the ones, yeah, for allergies. Okay, so ones that you can use for allergies. This one is for, oh, I do not know, Olga. Yeah. So Olga, some of the ones that are going to be good, again, I am a healthcare provider. I'm not your healthcare provider. So when I'm giving you this information, this is just general essential oil information, just standard across the board here. For allergies, peppermint is actually a really good one that you can use for allergies. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it is. And when you mix them together, so we actually used to call it like the we called it the allergy bomb. We can't really call it that anymore. I think we call it like I forget what the name of it is, but it was literally, it's lemon, lavender, and peppermint. You mix them together, you dilute. When we make the roller balls themselves out of these little guys right here, we would do 10 drops of lavender, 10 drops of melaleuca, and then you would do 10 drops of your peppermint. Oh, that's not my, of your peppermint. And then you would mix the rest of it with your coconut or your carrier oil, and then you would use that as one of the ones for your allergies, and you could put that on. Now, if you're having a skin sensitivity though, as far as allergies, then we would have to talk a little bit more about that, Olga, because sometimes it might be that we have something internally going on, whether it's a sensitivity to wheat, gluten, dairy, something else that may be causing, because I'm not sure what allergy. If you're talking like a histamine allergy, then that lemon, lavender, and peppermint's great. If you're talking more of a skin irritation, maybe eczema, something like that, then we would do a little bit more internally to look at your gut and to look at nutrition, as well as topically we can work on as well. But I'd have to see a little bit more with your particular allergy you were talking about. Okay, hopefully that was helpful. Yep, all set with diffuser, all set. Good, good, good. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Opinion. Okay, so Bill, the one for Eden Gardens, I'm not too familiar with their particular company. But again, it is all going to come down to quality. So what I would say is, if you can, obviously the one I use is doTERRA. So I left, oh, did it not give you? I guess it didn't. Oh, my last little guy. It didn't. My last one, yeah, this guy. So when we're looking at the particular companies or where they're from, you want to look at, okay, do I even know what? So I would look to see, do you know where they're actually getting their oils from? And then can you look and see, is there a good history with that particular company? I don't know Eden Gardens. It might be a pretty good company, but I would say please don't buy them out of the box chain stores. That's what I would say. Just try to stay away from the big box stores or the box chain stores. Their quality is not going to be as good as some of the other companies that are out there. And I want to make sure I wrap this up because we're going to be hopping off here in one more minute. Does anybody else have any other doTERRA sells an aroma humidifier? You can add essential oils to it. Yep, lavender, strong lavender, absolutely for sleeping. Did I hit everybody? Yes. Difference. Oh, yep, we went that one. Peppermint oils and extracts, ingesting. We did that one. Peppermint oil. How do you know if it's safe to ingest? So how you know it's safe to ingest is you want to, obviously, the companies that you buy it from, they should tell you, but there are resource and reference guides. Again, I mean, you can purchase them through me or you can look them up, but you want to know whether or not you can ingest them or not, right? So it should tell you A for aromatic, T for topical, or I for ingesting. I think I hit everybody else down there. Good. And if for some reason you think of something else, you guys can always get back to me and let me know. I think I answered all the questions. So I want to respect your time and say thank you so much to everybody who was here and joined in. And I hope that I'm able to see you guys again. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.